Friends, welcome. This is Duncan, and I've got a question for you. What's your strategy to grow your practice in 2020? Is it to do the exact same things that you've done in 2019 and just hope that they work out better? Or are you ready for a brand new tool, a new strategy, a new approach, so you can take your practice to new heights in 2020, so you can get the clients you want, make the money you want, and live the life you want? If you're ready for a new strategy, a new approach, stay tuned. That's exactly what I'm going to give you today, Law Practice Accelerator. I'm going to give you the exact tool I'm going to use in my practice to grow toward my goal of $1 million in gross revenue in 2020. If that sounds good to you and you want this free tool, stick around. I'm going to give it to you right here on this episode of Law Practice Accelerator. All right, so it's an ambitious claim, this idea that there could be something new that we could be using to grow our practices in 2020. But it's not crazy. Ask yourself, year over year, have you been taking new steps? Have you been trying new things to see if you can grow your practice? Or are you doing what so many of us do? We're just doing the same thing again and again and again, rinse and repeat, hoping that it'll work out better. And it rarely does. So here's the thing. I have created a tool that I want to give you for free. I don't own the software platform that it rides on. If I could, I'd give you that for free too. But I'm going to give you the template for a brand new sales funnel. I've showed it to you a little bit on this channel already, but I've got a brand new sales funnel that you can use to help grow your practice. Now, you might be saying, how is that even possible? Could a funnel help my practice? You might be asking. I'm going to submit to you the answer is yes. And here's how we're going to think about it. Lawyers aren't great at math, but we're going to do a little bit of math today and see if we can't figure out how a sales funnel could be helpful to us. Now, we'll work with the estate planning example. Let's say you're an estate planner. Think about the amount of time that you or someone on your staff gives to take someone from a referral to an engaged client. And think about how many of those people fall off and you never hear from them again. They take your time, okay? Fair enough. You're giving them value in the sense that you're telling them what is estate planning. You're giving them heads up. You're letting them know information, and they take it and they smile and they nod, and they might even say that they're inclined to do business with you. And then you do something like, I don't know, give them an estate planning questionnaire, and then the crickets start. Days, weeks, months go by. You might send emails to this person. You might try a phone call or two, but maybe they just never get back to you. What's your percentage on that? Let's do a little math and let's think about it. So let's say, what does it take you? What's your time investment or time investment of a paralegal in your office or somebody else to go ahead and would you invest with somebody just on the very front end? Let's say it's a life insurance agent, or maybe it's a trust company officer, or somebody gives you a referral. How does that happen for you typically? Is it by email? Is it a phone call? What does it look like? Think about, okay, from that initial referral, how much time do you invest to say, thank you very much, referral source. I will contact this person and we'll see if we can't set a call or an appointment or something so that we can have that initial discussion and see if we can work together. What is that for you? Is that 0.1, 0.2 hours? What does it look like? Think about your total time investment. Get out a piece of paper and do this for yourself. Let's say, just for giggles, that all in, considering that you might have to go back and forth, or somebody on your staff is, with whoever this prospect is, if they respond to you at all, and that you're going to communicate with your referral source, let's say just for round numbers, it's 0.2, 12 whopping minutes. That's not crazy. That's pretty normal. So let's look at this. Let's say, all right, 0.2 contact referral. Now, that's not crazy. Again, that's pretty standard. Now, at least it was in my practice for the 10 plus years that I was doing it in my big firm. And I made a mistake here. I didn't tell you guys, by the way, For those of you who are new here watching this on replay, who don't know me, my name is Duncan Crosby. I am the host here on Law Practice Accelerator. I spent over 15 years at a large firm here in the Midwest before I decided to go out on my own and try doing this business and to create my own practice from scratch. I took no clients with me. I did it all on my own, and I did it on purpose. I walked away from multi-six-figure compensation because I wanted to try this out. I was confident that this new approach would work. The very thing I'm going to give you today is what gave me the confidence to walk away from my 15-year career and my multi-six-figure compensation. This is the thing. This is the exact thing that I'm going to use to try to grow my practice toward my target of $1 million in 2020. And how am I going to do it? Doing this exact thing. Now, if you're wondering why should you listen to me, again, if you're new to this, here's what it is. I was Yale undergrad, Harvard Law School, came here to my dad's hometown of Louisville, Kentucky. I grew up in the DC area. Obviously went to school in the Northeast. I came here for family reasons, and I worked at a big firm here in town, and I enjoyed it. The people there were fantastic. But I noticed, especially as I got into estate planning about 10 years ago, that it seemed like I was spending a lot of time doing unnecessary things, or at least I was doing things to try to first get referrals at all, and then take them from referral stage to actually engaged client stage. I was doing a lot of the same things again and again. And I'm thinking to myself, there's got to be a way to automate this. There's got to be a way to make this better that would help not just me free up my time, but would also help the prospective client, right? Think about it. When I am doing my same spiel again and again, what are you typically doing? What do you do? What I did mostly was tell them what estate planning was. Say, hi, how are you? Here's what estate planning is. Here are the things you need to think about. Mr., Mrs. Doe, Miss Doe, whatever, right? Here are the things that we need to do. Here's what it would look like to work together in terms of what pricing is for basic kinds of combinations of things you might want. And here's an estate planning questionnaire. These are the decisions that you need to make. So you know the story. We just talked about it a minute ago. How does this go, right? You might never hear from them after this initial referral contact, your initial attempt to reach out. That might be lost. Who knows what I never tracked those numbers enough. Maybe you are. If you are, good for you. But that means you can run this math even more easily. So how much time do you lose just in contacting referrals that go absolutely nowhere? But let's say you actually do get something, right? So you get a response and you spend this time. I'm just going to leave that baked in there. That's time that you're also setting that initial call or meeting. How long are you spending on an initial call or meeting with a prospect? Somebody who is not committed to do business with you yet at all. What is it? Half an hour? Hour? Easily? All right, let's just be conservative. Let's call it half an hour. So we'll call this 0.5 initial meeting. So even lawyers can do this math. Already we're up to 0.7 of time that's invested in somebody, and we don't know that they're going to do anything. So let's say, and this has got to be conservative. I don't know how you run your practice, and maybe if it's not your time, then it's your paralegal's time. It's somebody in your office is investing this time. And you don't know if it's going to pan out yet. So we got 0.7, and now what comes next, right? We all know what comes next. Certainly what's true in my practice is this is the crickets period. Now I have to reach out to this person to try to prod them gently, goad them ever so carefully so that they might actually complete the questionnaire and do business, right? So we can go forward. Of course, the engagement letters probably also are in their hands at this point that they haven't returned. So nobody's committed to anything. None of this is billable time. So what's your normal goading time look like over the course of however many days, weeks, months? All right, I'm going to go ahead and say on average, and again, this is a conservative average because I don't want to overdo these numbers. Let's say it's conservatively 0.3 over the course of all that time. whether you're sending the email or somebody else is, or having the quick phone call, or tell me if this sounds familiar. You have that initial call or meeting with one spouse who just assures you that there's no reason to have the other spouse there, that they can absolutely communicate this information. And then shockingly enough, it turns out that's not really the case. And you have to have a follow-up call or meeting. All right. You're happy enough to do it. You want to serve your clients, but let's face it, or prospective clients, but let's face it, that just increases these numbers. But I'm going to be super conservative. I'm going to call this 0.3. Follow up. Right? So now where are we? On these conservative numbers, we are at a whole hour already, 1.0 hours, if you will. We're at an hour, and we don't have an engagement letter yet. We don't know what's going to happen. Now, what percentage of people that you begin to try to get to engage of these referrals, how many of them actually become paying clients of yours? Are you batting 1,000? I never did. Maybe you're that good. If you're that good, you probably don't need to watch this video. You can just move on, all right? But for those of us who aren't perfect, for those of us who haven't batted 1,000 on this yet, what's your success rate here? Is it more like 500? Is it 700? Is it 300? What do you say? Let's say on average, you're batting about 500. All right? So if you do that, we'll call it a 50% success rate. Right? What are we going to end up with here? All right? Well, and I'm actually doing this the wrong way. Let's talk about, let's think about the number of people that you have. See, this is why lawyers don't do math. But let's say if you've got a 50% success rate, that means for every actual client that you have in the door, you have 2 hours of non-billable time. 2 hours of time that, at least in theory, you shouldn't be billing for. Now, what's the reality, right? We all know how this works. If you're working hourly, you should not be recovering any of this. If you're working on a flat fee, which means your rate either has to go up to try to account for that, or if you're working on a fixed fee, flat fee basis, that means you are necessarily, if you're going to recover that time, the value of that time in any way, then you're going to have to adjust your fixed fees such that you are recovering the value of this time on average. And what does that mean? It means that the people who actually convert, who actually use your services, are paying for 2 hours of time that, frankly, in theory, is non-billable. And I'm going to submit to you, we don't have to spend, or at least we can cut way down by using this new approach. What is the approach? What is the magic? What's the secret? Well, you've already gotten it. I've already told you. The secret is, what if I can take this process and put it on autopilot? What if I don't have to do that same process with my mouth or my paralegal's mouth or my admin, whoever is running this process? What if I don't have to spend anybody's time to do this? What if this bit happens on its own? You only ever have to do it one time. You give your best presentation, concert pitch, right? You're doing the very best you've got. You create a follow-up sequence that happens on its own over the course of however long you'd want. Let's call it 30 days of consistent follow-up with no investment of time at all from you or anyone in your office. Instead, what you've done is you've created a series of videos. You give your pitch, you give your best information. In fact, you do better than what you would normally do for any given client, because my guess is you're not giving your absolute best, your absolute all every time you give one of these pitches right here. Because somewhere in the back of your mind, you know that time, meaning your money and your life, could just walk out the door and you'd be compensated for it, not a whit, right? So what you want to do instead, and what this strategy is, says, hey, let's take our very best pitch. In fact, let's give people more information, more care. Let's get outside the legal stuff. Let's talk to them about just basic thought processes. Because we all know the hardest part of estate planning, especially for the vast majority of people who do not need exotic, exquisite stuff. They need basic run-of-the-mill estate planning. The hardest part for all of these folks is just getting inside their own heads to figure out what they need. So what if we helped them with that? What if we created short videos, yes, to explain our documents, yes, to explain the roles that are going to need to be filled, and to help them think about who's going to fill those things, but even more broadly, help them say, let's step back and talk about thought processes. Here are basic kinds of decisions you're going to need. Here are basic categories of people that you're going to need to use, to have available to you. Here what you need to think about how your assets are going to go, right? And really, what are your assets? Going through the same kinds of things that you would normally do with a client, but even more so, breaking it up into short videos, making that, instead of from a process where you know the money can walk out the door, you do this one time, you get it the way you want, you keep those videos, and now you don't have to do them again. Where are they going to live? They live in the funnel. I'll show you exactly where. Your estate planning questionnaire, that thing that right now is an obstacle, it's a hindrance to getting people, you know this, getting people from here to actually engaged, that is possibly the biggest stumbling block, right? What if you could turn that obstacle into an opportunity? What if you could turn that thing that's a hindrance into a help? How could you do it? Well, you take your existing estate planning questionnaire, you dress it up, you put some helpful text around it, maybe the same text that is your script for the different videos, each of the different videos that you're going to shoot anyway. You take, or maybe you just shoot the videos off the cuff and you transcribe it, and that becomes the text. But you take that estate planning questionnaire that right now is a thorn in your side, and you turn it into a planning guide that's free. It's a lead magnet. Now it's value. Now it's not something in the way. Now it's something that's helping. That too has a home here in this funnel that I'm going to give you. It creates a total system to take people from referral all the way through. They get followed up with, they get to learn they get the exact same pitch you were going to give them anyway, but better. They get it on their schedule, their timing, and whatever amount of time they need to do it. They take your estate planning questionnaire, which before was this problem for them and for you. And now it's this helpful guide that they walk through with the videos. So by the time they're done with all of this, what's the result? Some of them, admit it, let's just put it where it is. Some people are never going to do business with you. They never were going to anyway. But think about it. Those are the same people who are going to walk off with, and let's face it, half an hour is way conservative here. Probably more like an hour for a lot of us. They were going to walk away with this anyway. But now they're not walking away with your actual time. They're walking away with value from you, not just words that have come out of your mouth over a phone or in a meeting. They've gotten to see your videos. They've gotten to know, like, and trust you by watching you talk on their schedule at your very best. They took your estate planning questionnaire, which before was nothing to them, and now it's a guide that they can use. Maybe they won't use it to do business with you, but it's made them more disposed to think highly of you. And do you think that they're more likely to tell their friends and colleagues, hey, listen, at the very least, if you're thinking about doing a will, there's this free thing online. This guy put it up there. Here's the address. Go check it out, right? And maybe that person does business with you. Now you've got something that actually can network itself. You create your own referrals, mutual referral sources for people who never did business with you. But let's face it, more people will be more likely to do business if they go through this process. They've gotten to know, like, and trust you, watching your videos. They've taken your estate planning questionnaire and actually worked through it as a guide instead of this obstacle to doing business. By the time they get through that, and they reach out to contact you, do you think they're more or less likely to do business with you? Friends, if they've gotten through that, if they've done this, they're highly disposed to do business with you. They've put in the work, though you've made it easy. They've gotten to know, like, and trust you because they've been talking with you by video without you ever having to open up your mouth directly to them. That's the magic of the online sales funnel as it's applied to estate planning. You can do this with any practice. Think about these numbers for your own practice. If you haven't already, just push pause on this. If you're watching it on replay, push pause and just run this math for yourself. Ask yourself, how much of your time, which, by the way, as we all know, is the one asset you do not get more of. You never get it back. But if you care to, just run it out by the money. How much money are you losing? Your money equivalent of time, are you losing every week, month, year? Because that's happening to you. You got to stop this. That's your win for 2020 and beyond. Is we put the brakes on this, and yes, we take a little time, and yes, we take a little money, and we build a new system. Then when it's up and running, yeah, we're going to tweak it because we want this puppy to hum, right? I mean, this is going to bring us, not only will we tell our existing referral sources, you might be saying, okay, fine. Let's say we do that. Let's say, and let's go to the live feed, shall we? Let's say we do put up a funnel that looks like so, which is the one that I have created for you. And I am giving you today. If you look in the links down below, you may have this. As I've mentioned there, and I mentioned before, this rides on ClickFunnels. I can't give you ClickFunnels for free. If you're already a ClickFunnels member, you're welcome. You may have this. If you aren't a ClickFunnels member already, please use that link. Understand that I am a ClickFunnels affiliate. So if you actually end up paying them anything, I will likely get a commission on that. It does not change their pricing. It does not change the deal on ClickFunnels at all. In fact, if you're somebody who's even just entertaining the idea of using ClickFunnels, why wouldn't you get this, come on board with me and get this free bonus? By the way, there are more bonuses coming. I'll be telling you about those pretty soon. Today, I just want to focus on this funnel. But here's what you do. You get this funnel right here. You start running this pup, and you will accomplish the goal of backing off a bunch of this. Now, you might be saying, wait a minute. Hold on. If I put this thing in place, how's anybody ever going to get there? Well, glad you asked. There are at least two ways that you're going to want to do this. How are you going to do it? Well, two things. I'm going to erase this. I'm assuming we got the math here, right? Let's look at this. Two ways to get traffic to your new funnel. And I apologize, my handwriting is terrible, but let's think about it. Number one, where are you getting your traffic today? Where are you getting the referrals that you get today? Are they life insurance agents, bankers, trust company people? Where are you getting them? Probably a lot of people talking, right? They're people that you know, people you groomed over time. By the way, people rarely think about this enough. How much time and money do you spend with your referral sources? All right. It's money well spent, presumably. I hope you've run the math on that. It's time well spent, I hope, if you've run the math on that. But it's not free. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But the first way you're going to get traffic to the shiny new funnel that I'm going to give you today, and I will tell you more about how you can actually implement this. The first way you're going to get it, simple. Existing referral sources. So look at this. Instead of your life insurance agents, bankers, trust company officers, whoever you got, instead of those people sending you an email or picking up that phone and then causing you to have to do all this stuff, just tell them, hey, friends, I am trying a brand new tool that your clients, your customers are going to love. I've created a system where they don't even have to talk to me until they are good and darn ready. So, referral source, here's the link. Here's the web address that they go to sign up for this bad boy, and they can use it. And if they never talk to me, that's perfectly fine. Okay, I'm not going to follow up with you. Or, hey, if you've got them in your office, referral source friend, Mr. Life Insurance Agent, just grab their phone, go to this web address, and put their email address in there. Tell them exactly what you're doing and why, and let that do its magic on its own. Okay, tell them you need to use this guide. Even if you don't do business with this person, you use this guide. Tell them to do that. So that's where you're going to get traffic source number one. So the good news about this is it serves that screening function. Let's think about it. Think about the number of people who, if you get email, they get an email with that includes, say, their life insurance agent emails you, says, hey, they're talking about, hey, Duncan, met with this great guy this morning, or the Joneses this morning. They need an estate plan. Can you help them out? Now I got to email back. Of course, I want to help these people. I email them back. Love to help the Joneses. Let's do this. You know, now the Joneses are feeling maybe slightly pressured, maybe not. They have to inconvenience themselves to try to find time for a meeting with me. If they think they're obligated to do it somehow, just tell your referral sources, we're cutting out all of that. We're going to try something. Maybe you do this with every other person you refer to me. You tell me what you like. I want you to get on there and try it yourself, actually, Mr. or Miss Referral Source. Do this instead. That way you're off the hook, right? And I, the attorney, am off the hook. Now it's in the hands of this person to go ahead and decide. Now, let's face it. If you're worried about scaring away clients, potential clients, let me ask you, how many of those people who would be scared off by you giving them more value and more convenience, how many of them do you think we're going to do business with you to start with? My guess is it's a vanishingly small number, probably zero. So all you're actually doing is creating a screening function for yourself. Instead of spending that 0.2 initial contact, 0.5 or more initial meeting, 0.3 trying to follow up to get nothing, this screens it all by itself. You don't have to spend that time. This covers you. So even if you got no additional traffic at all, if you got nobody new to go to this site, this funnel that you would have had calling you or emailing you anyway, this thing's going to save you a ton of time. And time in lawyer land is money, isn't it? So there's certainly that. That's one way you're going to get existing traffic. You're going to get traffic, existing sources. Second, crazy idea. Run ads. Marketing's not bad. Marketing's good. So not only do you want to count on your existing sources, whatever those are, to push traffic to this instead of the conventional means of you getting business. Let's say maybe you think you're worried that your referral sources won't like it, though you should vet it with them. Check it out. Let them check it out. See what they think. I will tell you, by the way, I almost forgot, on this side, a very good friend of mine and a referral source happens to be one of the top agents for I won't tell you the name of the company because it's, at any rate, I believe it's top 5 life insurance companies in the country. I mean, by a long shot. And I told him what I was doing here. I showed him, frankly, an earlier prototype of this. He loved it. And he also told me, when I tell you what the pricing on ClickFunnels is for a year, okay, he said, listen, anybody who's not willing to spend that amount of money to try something like this on their practice, all right, they don't have a practice. They have a hobby. So you ask yourself, are you in business? Are you actually running a practice, or is this a hobby? Because if you're running a business, listen to my friend, the top flight sales guy. Again, he's a top 5 life insurance company in the country. It's not just life insurance. Believe me when I tell you, the guy is a serious person to be listened to. And he said, listen, if you don't have the kind of money we're talking about, and it's not huge, all right, cat out of the bag. If you sign up for a full year of ClickFunnels up front, you get a bunch of bonuses with that, by the way, if you do that from ClickFunnels. They have great marketing training. I would highly recommend it. Even if you didn't have this, But why not get the free bonus? You can use my link below and you'll see where I talk about this whole thing where Russell Brunson tells you how to gives this amazing presentation. You go through, it's called Secret Funnel Strategy. Okay. You go through there. It's going to ultimately take you to an offer. If you sign up for that full year offer, it's $2,997, less than $3,000 for the full year. And you're going to get my stuff. Plus I have additional bonuses for people who decide to make that kind of a commitment, who are ready to make that investment in their own practice. I'm going to have more bonuses for you, including live support, live training sessions, all kinds of good stuff that's coming up. But I don't want to let all those cats out of the bag just yet. I want to walk through this, make the point that your existing sources, or if they're anything like my guy, who is a top flight guy, they're going to love this. Okay. He was in love with this concept. But let's look at the other way you do it. You just run some ads, right? And that, by the way, is something we're going to be talking about right here on Law Practice Accelerator. And it's part of my free bonusing to people who do go ahead and sign up with ClickFunnels under me through the links that I've provided below. Get this free funnel. Don't miss this free funnel, okay? But we're also going to be giving you ad copy, right? I'm going to be letting you know what ads of mine are working and what's not. I'm going to be talking to you about strategies that work and what don't. So if you're thinking, hey, I don't even want to get into trying to run ads because I don't know what to do, I have good news for you. I'm going to be giving you information about what to do, all right? I'm going to be giving you ad copy you can use, all right? Ad creatives that you can use. And I'll let you know what's working for me, and I'd love to know what's working for you. But that's the other way you're going to get traffic into this thing is you just bloody run ads to it. So in addition to saving you a ton of time and money and adding more value to your potential clients, you can run ads to this thing and pick up clients you would never have gotten in the first place. How much easier is it for people to share a link like this than to send out your phone number, email, whatever else, and other people get, they're like, I don't know. I mean, how much more likely are you just to click a link? If your friend says, hey, check this out, and they just send a link, how much more likely are you to look at it than they say, hey, you should totally email this person. He's really great at what he does. She's fantastic. Nobody's doing that, all right? Instead, but you give them a link, you say, you should just take a look at this stuff. Try this person's stuff out. You're much more likely to do that. So existing resources, additional referrals that run, especially like you're running ads of this and it gets some traction, people start noticing, and then they start sharing it with other people. This thing can grow all on its own and help you get even more business. So let's face it. Let's take the $29.97 investment number, okay? Which, by the way, is a savings over the normal. If the normal rate for ClickFunnels, if you do it where you actually get this email, I took that off of it, where you get the email automation sequence, all right? So it'll use your email provider, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the training, is that it runs the automation inside ClickFunnels. That level, it's $297 a month if you just go month to month. But if you do the Secret Funnel Strategy link, the one I'm talking about below, and you'll see that offer when you get through Russell's video, you'll see that $29.97. So you're already saving more than $600 or about $600 on the year to do the full year commitment anyway, right? He's going to give you training on ads and all of those kinds of good things. But just think about that. If you were able to get just, I don't know, what do you charge for a standard estate plan? Are you $1,000, $1,500? Are you much more than that? Are you $3,500 on Rev Trust planning for a couple? Are you more? I had a friend in Chicago at a significant firm who's talking about how they were doing $7,500 for Rev Trust planning for vanilla planning. All right. So ask yourself this. How much more business would you really have to get to make an investment of less than $3,000 worthwhile? Not much, right? If you picked up 1, 2, maybe 3 additional clients over the course of a year, would it be worth it to you? The answer has got to be, right? You add up the value of the time that you're saving, even if you didn't get any additional, so even if all it did was protect your time from people who were never going to do business with you, think about the value of that time over the course of a year, over the course of a month, over the course even of a week, okay? And then ask yourself, is that worth more? Do I have at least, let's call it round numbers, $300 of time that is being chewed up every month by well-intended people, no doubt, but $300 of time on a monthly basis? My guess is if you are doing estate planning at all, the answer is absolutely every month and probably multiples of that. So if you could save that time and more, and you can spend a little money on some ads and get additional clients, you're winning all day long with this. Friends, before long, people are going to be using this all the time. They will wonder how we ever practiced without something just like this, right? So let's remember, if you haven't been here before, how does this work? The whole idea is first we have an attention-getting headline. We reach out, we speak to exactly the people we want, right? We know what they're thinking about. The whole point of this is people who are looking for estate plans in this circumstance, they're looking for peace of mind. They don't want more documents weighing down their bookshelf. They don't want something to put in their safe deposit box. They're looking for peace of mind. So we just say that out loud right in front of them. What are they looking for in your practice? Is it peace of mind? Is it a way to enhance their business? Is it a way to provide more value to what is it? What is it that they're saying? So you get inside their mind, you put that right there on the front end, right up top. Video, video, video. People connect with video now more than ever, right? We all know this. How much time do we spend on YouTube and Netflix and everything else on Instagram videos and all these other things, right? Video is a way that people are connecting. So you want to connect the same way. So we've got a video. We've got a great attention grabbing headline. We have a video that you would drop right in here to connect with that person, get that human connection right out of the gate, let them learn to know, like, and trust you right here. And then if they're ready to convert right there, they can hit this button and it shoots them right to the bottom of the page where they don't wait another moment, a call to action right there so they can get their free estate planning guide. They can act on this free offer right now, right? But along the way, there's also copy that you can put in here. So especially if you're if you're a estate planning attorney, there's very little that you need to do to this to make it your own. And I am going to give you training to show you how to make this your own so simply, so easily. I'll also talk to you about how I can help you with this one-on-one if you'd like to do that. Right now, I just want you to see what we're doing. Testimonials, so people can see that other people have known, liked, and trusted you, right? And more buttons to convert. So always, as we're going throughout, if they click on this button, it shoots them right down here so they can go ahead. We've got more copy over here to help to talk to people about where they are, what this is going to do for them, what the benefits are, what it's not going to do for them, which is another kind of benefit, right? It's got all kinds of stuff about their circumstances and situations. And it moves then into a membership area where they have the videos that are available to them so that they can go ahead and get started with their planning. So they go on, they get signed up, and I'm going to see if I can take you right into this planning site right here. Okay, very good. So this share link is going to drive you right into this site right here. So this demo site you're going to see that I'm going to show you here in just a second. There we go. Has this disclaimer bar at the top. Yours is not going to have that. But look what happens when they get on the inside. Now they've got all this space where they're going to get more videos from you talking about all the good things they've done. Your estate planning guide, your PDF that's dressed up and is now a guide instead of a estate planning questionnaire lives right behind this button so they can download it immediately, and it keeps them going. It's encouraging them all along the way. That's all yours for free as part of just clicking that link and getting this share. All right. So that's what this is about. This is about not just, oh, it's a pretty website. Anybody can do a website. This is about a pretty website. This is about fundamentally changing how you do business. This is about creating a whole new way to engage with your prospects, to save you time and money while still giving them more value. And frankly, people who will never do business with you will receive a ton of value and have goodwill toward you that then they can tell other people about. That's the genius of doing this. Friends, this is exactly what I'm doing in my practice in this year to come. I am aiming for a revenue goal of $1 million. Do I know I'm going to hit it? No, I don't know that. All right. But I know I am going to take this and give it all I have. I am going to be running ads. I am absolutely going to be making sure that my existing referral sources know this is how I want to do business, and I'm going to get feedback from them. I would love for you to come along and do this now. Okay, this is sort of a beta test. I'll admit that right out of the gate. All right, we are running a beta test, but I want to do it with you to see how these funnels work in this, where I can promise you right now, go watch that video, that 2-hour video that's linked down below from Russell Brunson, watching him do his presentation, do his pitch. He will tell you about all the businesses. There is no line of business. There is no kind of enterprise that hasn't put a funnel like this in place and managed to kill it with it. This is not just about selling our services. One of the great things about this from a lawyer's perspective is we can give people real value for free with these kinds of lead magnets, and it doesn't cost us a dime. We can help more people for free on a marginal basis. It doesn't cost us anything extra. Whereas if they call you or they're meeting face-to-face with you, they've got your time. And if they walk out the door, that is the end, right? We have a way of cutting that down to zero, or very close to zero, right? Giving them even more value than they would have gotten if they'd been face-to-face with us. And if they don't do business with us, they've gotten that value and it's nothing off of us. But they do like us more, and they're more likely to tell people about us. So I want to encourage you to go ahead, make sure you take advantage of this free funnel. It's yours. You can have it. All right. My only request, the only license agreement around this at all, is that you got to use it in your practice. Don't go stealing this and trying to sell it on your own as somebody else. All right. I built this myself. This cost me, friends, $5,000 and tens, if not hundreds of hours, certainly more than 100 hours of my time to build all of this out, to create all of this work. All right. So I'm not authorizing anybody to go just use it any way you want, giving it to other people and not using my share link. Okay. Honestly, that's right. Okay. You may use it in your practice for practice purposes. You may use it in your firm for your firm's practice purposes. You may not obviously take it and make it your own and then try to go sell it to somebody else. Don't do that. That's not permitted. That's not part of the license. But the license I'm granting anybody who wants to, any lawyer or law firm, is use this, try it out, and let me know how you're doing. I'm going to be sharing with you how I'm doing with it. I'm going to show you everything I'm doing with it. As I develop new ways, new strategies, new copy, as I test things out, I'm going to be sharing that with the people who are on board with me. And the way you get on board is by grabbing that link. Friends, there is absolutely no reason not to do this. If you're worried that you're not a tech person and you don't know how, that's precisely why the training that I'm going to give you as part of this is the additional bonus for people who sign up. I'm going to take you all along the way. You don't need to be a tech person. I'm not a tech person. All right. It took me some money and time to figure this out. I'm shortcutting all of that for you. I'm just going to give it to you. If you're wondering whether it's going to work or not, well, I can tell you it has worked for hundreds and thousands of other businesses that have done this. I've had tremendous results. Again, go watch that video about Russell. He'll tell you the results that other people have had with this exact same technology, this exact same system. Okay. So yes, it can and does work. The vehicle works. It's the vehicle I'm taking to build my practice. All right. And if you're worried that other people won't be on board with this, just think about it. How many people are not using video today? How many people do you know don't watch video on their phone, on their computer? Everybody does. How many people do you know would prefer to engage with video content, online content before they go try to talk to somebody about something? Well, that would be all of us. We all do that, don't we? When I'm going to go buy a car, frankly, whether I'm going to go buy something even just on Amazon, or if I'm thinking about going to buy something at Walmart or the grocery store, I look it up first. I check it out, don't I? Give people a way to look you up and check you out. Not an online business card. Most websites are just business cards at best. A lot of time they just lead to confusion, right? You do an online sales funnel like this. You use my model and build it out to your specs. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. And now people actually have a way to taste and see if what you do is good. This is a way to give people those free little sausages or quiches at the grocery store, right? They get to taste your product. You're going to give them some of your best stuff right up front so they can see whether it's worth getting more from you. That's exactly what's going to happen when you use this, right? So there's no reason to hesitate. Don't wait. Go ahead, click that funnel, get the share funnel, and I will make sure that you have a great experience with Law Practice Accelerator as we continue to talk about this here and with this great funnel I've built for you. I hope you enjoy it. Take care, and I will talk to you again soon. Again, don't forget, be sure you get your funnel down below. And if you like what's happening here, And I love doing it with you. Be sure you subscribe, like it, share with your friends, turn on those notifications. Don't let this pass you by. We're having a lot of fun here, friends. I'll talk to you later. Bye.